Please don't skip this intro, because I need your help with this video. This is my first time covering IEMs. I've tested a few in the back, and I'm actually testing quite a few other than this right here. So I'm really wrapping my head around this and embracing it. But again, this is my first time covering. There's a lot of stuff I do not know about IEMs, or a lot I really can't compare them to and stack them up against. You know what I mean? So that's why I want you to stick around and really help me with this video and say, hey, Techne, why don't you cover this a little bit more in IEMs? Or, hey, why don't you cover that a little bit more? Or maybe not that. You know what I mean? Anyways, I just really want your constructive criticism and feedback within this video, because you all know I absolutely love audio. And when I'm talking IEMs, high-end audiophile headphones or whatever, we're always geared towards gaming. And that's the exact way I'm going to go about IEMs right here in this review. But please, give me your constructive criticism, feedback. Let me know what I'm doing good, what I'm not doing good, and what else I should do. I would highly appreciate your help here. So as you see, the first IEMs we're going to cover on this channel are the Simgot King Wonder EN1000, a mouthful. But anyways, these are the first IEMs we are going to cover here. Now, y'all know I'm not a spec fan, but I will throw a few specs up on a screen right now in case that's what you're into, just so you can see them real briefly. But anyways, let's get that out of the way. And I want to show you what you get in your box. You get this nice case, you get your buds, you get your cable, and a plethora of paperwork that you're probably never going to use. What I want to show you first off is the design of these guys. Can the camera even pick this up? Like, holy smokes, they are absolutely gorgeous. As you see, you got the metal housing all the way around there, even down into the ear tips here, and they're not incredibly heavy. Let's dive right into it. I'm going all about right here, right? So anyways, slapping them on the scale, even though they're metal, you're getting 17.1 grams. Of course, that is without the cable. If you're curious, since we got the scale out, slap it with the cable, 20.9, with the buds in there, 37.9. So again, incredibly lightweight, but I can't say it enough. The build of these are incredibly stinking solid. Now, going to the cable here, and I think this is a common thing with IEMs, because again, with the other ones I'm testing too, these cables are very lightweight, kind of flimsy right here, you know what I mean? Which is nice, because when they're dangling on you don't feel much, but I'm catching this is a common trend within IEMs, but the cable is very stylish here. Now, popping open a little case that it comes with, you get some other adapters, which we're going to talk about in the sound here in a second. Keep that in mind. Now, I got 2 replacement sets of ear tips here. So just looking at what you get in your box there, it's just, wow, like, I want to just display these things. They're so gorgeous. But anyways, what we got to dive into here is comfort, of course, right? So let me get into this. Does this say left or right? I forget if this, okay, it does. So there's a little right indication right down there, and then on the butt as well. And you clip these bad boys in. Again, they loop up around it because they're going to go around your ear. Let's get the other one in here. And there's something I want to talk about here. Number one being the comfort. So when you take these IEMs, and I'm noticing this in a lot of them, this little deal kind of wraps around your ear. Some don't come with that, and it's just a straight bud that plugs in there. So I do like this little deal, even though it's hard to work with. So when I take it, I kind of put the bud in, and then I got to take it around, make sure it gets down into my ear, and it starts getting kind of annoying trying to get it like that. But once they are in my ears, I mean, they are in there solid. They're not budging. They're not even getting that slight movement in there. I mean, they are staying still, and they're not really creating this pressure really locked into my ears or anything, but they are closed into there. Like, it's blocking out a lot of sound right now, which I like. That combination of the lightweight, that premium feel, and again, holding their position right there. I would say they're incredibly stinking cozy for IEMs again. And that's one thing about IEMs that kind of gets me is saying they're stinking cozy, because buds are buds, right? You got this dang thing jammed in your ear. Me being quite a sweaty gamer, you know, getting a little oils in there and everything. You got that closed into your ears. I find myself having to take them out. Not just these Simgot ones, but any buds, any wireless earbuds, heck, my Apple AirPods Pro, I gotta take them out because it starts bothering inside of my ears, hence the reason I like headphones quite a bit. But as far as that core use and getting them in there, I don't have any pinching, no irritation anywhere. Very, very cozy keeping these in my ears. Now, since we got the buds connected here and everything, I want to talk a little bit more about that build, because something made me really nervous using these. So whenever you got them in right here, you want to pull this out. I mean, you almost got to tug quite fiercely for them. Now that I've used them quite a bit and again, swapped them out, they're loosening up. But again, they're kind of tight, and I just get worried pulling on this wire, because sometimes I was pulling out here, and I was like, oh, geez, am I going to mess up that wire? But again, if you hold it right in here, get onto that notch and tug it out, oh, mercy, there it goes. It's hard again. Again, I get worried I am going to ruin the wire. But just be gentle with it and you'll be good to go. Again, I'm getting that vibe across a lot of IEMs. Now, what else I want to cover here is these other adapters. As far as changing it out on these Simgots, this is really cool on these here. I haven't seen these on any other ones. This is really awesome. So you can just spin this right over here, pull that little housing back, bam, and pull this. Again, same thing. Really hard to pull this out. Maybe give it a little wiggle. Bam, you can pull that out. Now you got a dot here and a dot there. You can line it up, clip it into place, and then you're going to pull that housing back over it, get it in there, screw it down, and you're going to have a different sound. And that's really where I want to focus a lot of my IEM reviews around, is that sound. Again, we can talk about comfort all day long on IEMs, but these are way different than headphones or headsets because they're going inside your ear. How are they going to fit inside your ears and be totally different than something wrapping around? So again, I want to focus on that core sound. And talking about these Simgot ones right here, the King, what do they call them? King Wonder, weird name right there, right? Anyways, 32 ohms, so they're very easy to drive. Now, the majority of my time using them was on PC, even though I tested them on console, and we got that nice sound we're going to talk about. But on PC, I use an i5 Zen stack, the amp and the DAC right there, and I plug it in that way. And it was amazing. The sound of these was like, I've only had an experience like this with audio when I tested high-end Odyssey headphones. If you guys watched some of my videos, we tested like $8,000 headphones over there. You know what I mean? The sound I got from these was crisp, detailed, punchy, not rumbly bass. Don't be thinking that by any means, because you're not getting any of that crazy, rumbly, muddy, full, exhausted bass right there. You're getting that crisp hit. That's where it brings me into Odyssey. If you've ever watched my reviews of those, heck, even the Penrose, you know what I mean? You're getting that kind of sound right here, where that bass is a bass. It's a hit and it's done. It's doing what it needs to do and it's gone. It's not sitting there. It's not hanging out. It's not rumbling. It's not muddy. It's not staticky. It's hitting and it's done. It was so incredibly awesome. Now, on IEMs, same with these right here, at least the ones I've been testing, you get an earful of the highs. You get an earful of the details. Hence why a lot of people like using these for competitive gaming, because you do get a lot of highs in them. And talking about the highs, one thing I've noticed, separation on these right here, you got some of it, but everything was performing so much that the separation, say footsteps, reloads around the corner, something like that, was brought down a little bit. So hopefully you're with me. Now, I want to break this down a little bit here, okay? So you're getting highs, you're getting kicking bass, getting amazing dialogue. It's doing everything so amazing, so good. Gives you nerd chills when you listen to it. It's that good. But again, the separation over here, if I wanted to hear someone around the corner, I heard them, but all of this was performing so much and so good that sometimes it took a little bit of that away, and I had to kind of find myself trying to hear it, if that makes sense. Again, I don't use sound more from the sound tweaking. Maybe if you fired some of that up, you'd be a little bit better. But again, sometimes I caught myself having to try to hear the detail of footsteps and something like that. So hopefully you're with me so far. There's a lot more to talk about with this Simgot. And that comes to these little adapters right here. And I'm going to throw something on the screen. You can see this graph right here and see the adjustment of the curve when using each adapter. But more importantly, I want to talk about it, because a graph is a graph. Numbers are numbers. I want to talk about my use gaming. And you all know, again, I gamed a lot of Halo, Destiny. I played some Red Dead with this here. Lots of varieties of games, right? And what I noticed, just like with that curve, even though it looks so mild in that curve, I could notice a difference. Again, with it being a little bit more highs, maybe a little bit more lows. And where you notice the majority of it was with dialogue, with voices right there. But what I found myself the best is with the gray one being right in the mids, because it balanced some of that out right there. Wasn't too screechy. Bass wasn't too much. The dialogue was real natural, But what's so cool about this, again, this being my first time seeing something like this, it's cool if you get into something that say Gears of War or something like that, where you want that really impactful, just full, just in your face action, you can go to that and adapt it out and get more bass right there. Or if you come over here, maybe, I don't know, a racing game or something where you're going to want, maybe say Rainbow Six and you want just highs, you can get that over here. That's so cool. Just think about it as like a quick EQ adjustment, but nothing overboard. It's nothing drastic. It's very mild, but still noticeable and manageable. It was really cool. Now I keep going back to this, right? This is weird because I'm over here looking down at this and changing that out. Again, as easy it is, I just feel like I'm tearing the product up because you can see this wire. I don't know if you guys can see that bouncing there. Let me put it under camera and you can see that wire is just loosened up, right? Its little braid over here is real nice and tight, but where I tend to pull this up because there's nothing really to grip on there, it slides out, I'm pulling on a wire and now it's loose. So as I sit here and talk about sound and changing them out, I go back to the build. Over time, is that going to affect the build? Am I going to ruin that wire? Because I do like changing them up every now and then, you know? That, again, that's kind of sound and build, but that was a bit of a stinker. But the sound, guys, I can't say it enough. The sound of these IEMs is so stinking fun. And the crazy thing about it is they're only $200. Okay? I know $200 isn't cheap, but it's not expensive for what they're packing. From that build, that style, the performance, the versatility. Again, guys, it's crazy for me to sit here and say, yo, I'm getting Odyssey vibes right here on high-end $1,000 Odyssey headphones, and I'm getting that right here. That makes me incredibly giddy and excited and super fun. And coming in at that $200 price range, yo, they get a total win from me. Again, comfort, the build, it's going to depend person to person right there. But what it's packing, my experience using them, wow, I had an absolute blast. So anyways, thank you so much for stopping by and watching my first IEM review right here. I had a blast with it. I really did. I know I kind of bounced around a little bit. I could have stayed a little more focused. But you all know I don't script. I use my products for an extensive period of time, press record on the camera, and talk about them as my personal use. And that's how I want to go about this here. So when you give me that constructive criticism, please keep that in mind. I don't like my reviews being spec-filled, number-filled. I don't like that. I like it being an actual consumer user review where we can relate with each other. You know what I mean? You can look at specs on the manufacturer's website, right? You can do that. I don't need to sit here and do that for you. But again, please do leave down in the comments some constructive criticism and let me know what else you would like to see, what you did like, and then moving forward, because we got a lot more IEMs to cover. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I was able to help you out. If I was, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.